Well, as I always say, Mondays are the most boring day starting the week. But however, as usual, I intend to keep your Mondays fun and exciting. So, if you guys are big fans of the Japanese wrestling scene, you're in luck. You guys are in the right channel. Now, as you probably can guess, New Japan Pro Wrestling had some amazing week. Don't forget, we had the Wrestle Kingdom, we had Wrestle Dynasty, and now New Year's Dash. So we don't know what to expect. But however, I presume we'll have preliminary matches for upcoming matches down the line in the future from here on out. So we'll see what's going to happen from there. But first things first, we're going to be reviewing still some events coming from 2024, mostly in the Japanese scene. As you probably know, Marvelous had their recent show in Shinkiba back on Christmas Eve featuring four matches. But one match kind of sets things up for a future AAW title shot. So we'll see how that rolls. And then, of course, All Japan Pro Wrestling had their New Year's Eve event. So this one featured two title matches. The All Asian Tag Team titles and the Triple Crown title are also on the line. And then, of course, we cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Chirati here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world in pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got Do Not Get Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. I believe it's time to make a trip to the land of the rising sun. We're talking about the Japanese wrestling style. So let's begin with our very first one, and this is from Marvelous. Okay, Marvelous. So they just had one of their recent shows back, one of their last shows that I believe they had in 2024 on Christmas Eve, which ironically is my birthday on that day, even though we're already in January. However, their show took place in Shinkiba. Our first match, we have tag team action. We have Ai Houzan and Chikayo Nagashima taking on Ayamis Sazamura from 2AW, and of course, the resident eel, Unagi Sayaka. Now, however, nothing too significant about this match or anything special. However, I think the match, it was the one thing that kind of how it ended, because of course it was Ayame says yeah, what's her name, Aya um Ayame actually picked up the win when she applied a brain buster onto, of course, Houzan, and just like that, it picked up the win. But however, in the post match, it seems that Nagashima was not too pleased about how this match ended. I'm not sure if they're setting up for a one-on-one match between those two, but anything could happen before them. But we'll see. Now, our next match is our only men's exhibition match. We have Leo Aisaka taking on, of course, our how to say, our double champion from West Coast Pro, the one half of the West Coast Pro Tag Team Champions, and the current West Coast Pro World Champion, Titus Alexander. Now, it's not the first time these guys clash. Nothing too specifics. Of course, Chikayo Nagoya is always happy to see Titus. I mean, I always did stated that Nagoya is like a mom to Titus, because she was the one who gave her blessing to use the name Crush Boys to Titus and Starboy Charlie. But of course, she's always surprised to see him, and he pulled up a very impressive win, kind of like a somewhat modified version of a gut wrench power bomb, or as we call it with Will Nightingale, the Doctor Bomb. But it was so impressive how he pulled it off, and I thought, well, just like that, it was over. 1, 2, 3, Alexander win. Our next match, we have Itsuki Aoki taking on Nightshade. Now, Nightshade, you probably know, she's not from she's from the UK, has been making multiple appearances in Japan recently, mostly with Marvelous. However, she, due to her, I, Aoki looks more like she had this match under her control, but for some reason it was overturned by Nightshade when she applied a choke power bomb, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match is a very interesting one. We have Magenta, Maria, and Riko Kawahata teaming up once again, taking on Momono, currently holding the AAW Tag Team titles and the Sendai Girls Tag Team titles. She teams up with the Ace of Marvelous, Takumi Hira, who also is our current AAW champion. However, many of you may question how this is going to play out. It's pretty well. I mean, look, you have two people who have title matches. If they pin someone, I mean, if somehow Momono was the one who got pinned, you would think, okay, they'll get a shot of the tag team belts, which obviously could happen. But what surprised me is how this match ended. It ended by submission by Maria when she submitted Takumi Iroha, which is one of her biggest crowning achievements of her life. Now, many of you say, does that mean that she could challenge for the AAW title? I mean, it seems like it. However, during the post match, one person felt, nope, ain't gonna happen, bitch. I'm taking that title shot whether you like it or not. And that person is Nightshade. So she's demanding for this. And Itsuki Aoki showed up. I don't know what they said, but I'm sure this is all about the AAW title. So we will see where that takes us from here on out. But for now, we'll end things here with Marvelous and move on with our next review, and that is, of course, All Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, All Japan Pro Wrestling, has been a while since I did one. This is their last show of 2023, or 2024, my bad. New Year's Eve, actually, on that particular day at the Yoyogi National Gymnasium number 2. Um, I did mention there will be title matches, but that's going to be towards the end of this review. Our first match, we have an interesting six-man tag match. We have Fuminori Abe, Seigo Tachibana, and Yuko Miyamoto. They take on the young boy Taishin Nagoi, Seki Yoshioka, and Musashi. Now, nothing too significant of this match, but however, what I did like about this is that even though we have seen how strong either the young lions, or we call them young boys, They show the resilience that they're willing to show their fighting spirit, and that's exactly what we saw with Nagao, who actually had that. However, he ended up on the wrong side of a submission by Fuminori Abe, and just like that, he had to tap out. Now, our next match, we have a bit of a battle royale. We have Suwama, Hideki Suzuki, Ikemenjiro, and a few others. But I wasn't too sure how this was going to go. But it was towards the end, it was Suwama who walked away with the win. And just like that. Now, I'm not sure if that means that he probably will like the challenge for the Triple Crown title. That is something unclear. But we will see what happened. But if anybody wants to know, the guy who stayed second before Suwama won, well, you're going to love who actually stayed with them. Murder Grandpa himself was there too. So he was like runner up of the whole thing. But Suwama is the actual winner. So just like that, it was over. Our next match, we have um, Daisuke Sekimoto taking on Dan Tamura. Now, Dan Tamura, I'm not going to lie, he is for despite him being a junior heavyweight, he does have a bit of the technical aspect as a, you know, powerhouse for his size, but he's able to pull it off on his own time. But however, his strength was not enough. His fighting spirit was not enough to take out Sekimoto because Sekimoto took him out with the lariat, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Our next match, we have Okudo Gun, consisting of Cyrus, Okudo Omori, and Jack Kennedy, taking on the Saito brothers. We have Senor Saito, Naruki Doi, and of course, Ri Saito. It was a pretty good, impressive match. I mean, but one thing that confused me is how this match ended. I mean, Okuda Omori seems like he was the one who picked up the win. For some reason, it went straight to the Saito brothers, most specifically Risato. I don't know why. I got totally confused. I mean, it made no absolute sense to me. And of course, Omori was not too keen on how this match ended. It felt like, like a direct insult. I'm not sure, but it ended like that. I don't know. It was very confusing. I think this match was a total botch, in my opinion. Now, our next match, we have, of course, the Aoyogi brothers. Atsuki Aoyogi, who we haven't seen for quite some time. I'm sure he was out on injury. And then, of course, his big brother, Yuma. They take on the members of Elpida, consistent of Riku Honda and Ren Ayabe. Now, I thought this match was pretty good, not to mention, but in the end, it was Honda with the final vent onto Atsuki, and just like that, he picked up the win. Our next match is for the All Asia Tag Team titles. We have Ryo Anoa'i and, of course, Kaito Kiyomiya taking on Elpida, consisting of Rising Hayato and Yuma Anzai. I thought this match was pretty good. It did show what Elpida are all about, that they're showing who they really are and what they are meant to do. But in the end, it was Anzai who picked up the win onto Anoa'i, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, our main event, is for the Triple Crown Championship. Jun Saito takes on Davey Boy Smith Jr., the son of the British Bulldog. Great match. I thought it was a bit of the powerhouse type, hoss fight. But however, in the end of this match, it was Jun Saito who picked up the win when he applied the sidewalk slam, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it's over. He's our brand new Triple Crown champion. So, just like that, it was over. So, I think that's pretty much it what we have for All Japan. So, let's move on with our last and final review, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, New Japan New Year's Dash. As you can see, we had a great week. First, we had Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty, and now New Year's Dash. So let's begin with, of course, with the pre-show match they had. We have Daiki Nagai, um, Who else? Oh yeah, Katsuya Murashima and Shomakato taking on the vets themselves. Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata, and we have, of course, Tenkoji, consisting of Satoshi Kojima and Hiroyoshi Tenzan. So you probably can guess that this match was going to be impressive because you got three of the veterans that had been in the game for too long. But in the end, it was, of course, the vets to walk away with the win, all thanks to Blue Justice. Yuji Nagata applying a crossface on the guy, and just like that, it's over. He just tapped out from that. Now, our next match, this was a very interesting matchup. We have an exhibition match between Boltin Oleg versus Josh Barnett. So this was one of those matches that I think many people will talk about. I mean, we know Josh Barnett. He is a striker, a MMA fighter. He knows what he's doing. But Boltin Oleg was able to hold his own after a 5-minute time limit draw. And I'm sure many people would love to see another match, but more of a straight up match to see how things would roll. And I think that's something we'd expect. I think they were talking about that. And Barnett even gave him credit on the post match, saying that he has the heart, and of course, and all that. And I'm sure he's going to learn a lot from Barnett one day. Now, our next match, we have Tomoaki Hamna, Shota Umino, Yado, Master Wato, and of course, our brand new crown, New Japan World Television Champion El Phantasmo taking on the United Empire's TJP, Jacob Austin Young, Francisco Ikera, the Great Khan, and Jeff Cobb. Now, of course, you probably can guess that Jeff Cobb is a bit more bitter, knowing the fact he did not win the New Japan the New Japan World Television title. So that's something we would see. But it was a pretty good match. But however, in the end, it was Khan who walked away with the win with the eliminator on Hamna. However, in the post match, it appears that Khan thinks that Shota Umino, who's saying that he will be at the top of the mountain, well, he's trying to tell him, well, sorry, boy, you're not the one running it. So he's trying to show him that he is going to be the one at the top of the mountain, but Shota Umino is not going to let that happen. So we probably will see a showdown between Khan and Umino because, as you know, Shota Umino lost at the main event in Wrestle Kingdom. A lot of people still have faith in him that he can be number one, and not to mention he defeated Claudio Castagnoli. So we'll see where that goes from there. Now our next match, we have the House of Losers without Evil, because Evil had his feeling like he can't do squat because nothing works in his favor. So we had Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Sho, Yujiro Takahashi, and Ren Narita taking on Tiger Mask, Togi Makabe, Toru Yano, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, of course, when it comes to the House of Torture, these dickweeds, in fact, like to cheat their way through. That's exactly what happened. But of course, it was Yujiro who used the Never Open Weight Tag Team belt onto Tiger Mask, and just like that, Sho pinned them 1, 2, 3, and then of course here comes Boltin Oleg. But however, Sho, being the biggest crybaby, is probably demanding another shot of the Never Open Weight Tag Team titles because they still believe that Oleg, Yano, and Tanahashi, that their win was nothing but a fluke. But no, come on, guys. These guys they're like crybabies because they think everything has to go their way. But I'm sure Tanahashi's not going to take this lightly, even though Evil, he's probably crying like a big baby to mommy because he couldn't even defeat the Ace. So, just like that, we'll see where that goes. Now, our next match, we have what's left and remaining of just 4 guys, Taka Michinoku and Taichi taking on members of the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors and Sonata. But however, don't forget, Taichi hasn't forgotten the betrayal that Sonata pulled up with him last year when he almost could have won the IWGP Global Championship. But I'm sure that's not going to be the end of it between those two, because Sonata was the one who had the last laugh when he applied the skull end on Taka, and just like that, it was over. Sooner or later, Taichi will have that one-on-one match against Sonata to make him pay for his betrayal for what he did to him. Our next match, we have the Bullet Club members, Taiji Shimori and Kenta taking on Kushida and El Desperado. Now, don't forget, Taiji Shimori won the Lucha Gauntlet match at was it Dynasty or Wrestle? No, at Wrestle Dynasty, who may most likely get another opportunity of the junior heavyweight title against Despy, and that's how we are going to see it. But however, in the end, it was um, Kushida with the hoverboard lock on Kenta, and just like that, it was over. Now, Kushida was doing a promo. However, Taichi's like, enough of this crap, because right now he is mind focused on Despy. He wants the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, so we'll see where that leads. Now, our next match, we have the other members of the Bullet Club War Dogs, Ghetto, Joe Maloney, Gabe Kidd, and David Finlay taking on LIJ's Bushi, Titan, Shingo Takagi, and Yota Tsuji. So you can tell this match was going to be crazy, and that's exactly what was happening. But it was Titan who walked away with the win when he applied the Llave Immortal onto Ghetto, and just like that, it was over. However, during the post match, it seems that Gabe Kidd, as you know, Gabe Kidd has often saying, F Shota Umino, F Yota Tsuji, F Yuya Uemura. He thinks that he is the true man who will be at the top. But he can't stand the fact that Yota Tsuji, he is already at the top of the mountain ever since he won the IWGP Global title. So we will see that coming. And then Maloney, as you know, he decides to pick up a beef with Takagi. Well, good luck with him, because Takagi, he does not take no BS from nobody. Now, our next match, we have Funky Sauce, Ruski Taguchi, and Alex Zane taking on LIJ's Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito. So, as you probably know, there has been talk about the opportunity that they will probably challenge for the IWGP tag team titles to take on the Bucks. So we don't know when will that happen, but it could happen. But this match ended with, of course, Naito applying Destino on Taguchi, and just like that, it was over. But I don't know what Naito said, but I'm sure that's the idea. The top of the discussion is the IWGP Tag Team title. So we most likely will see that. Now for our main event, we have what's left of Chaos, consisting of Rocky Romero, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto taking on TMDK's Rohei Oiwa, Kosa Fujita, Robbie Eagles, and our current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Zack Sabre Jr. So you can tell there's going to be interesting. As you know, Hiroki Goto does have an opportunity for the IWGP World Heavyweight title contract, so we don't know when it's going to happen. But this match ended with Yo applying a ghetto clutch onto Robbie Eagles, maybe leading a chance for Yo and Rocky Romero for a shot of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title. So we will see what that happens. But of course, we did see a little beef between Iowa and, of course, Yoshihashi. So things are going to be escalated. So it looks like we're now beginning battle lines to draw for the next big show happening. So hopefully we'll see that come about. But for now, I think we are done with New Japan and all reviews. So let's move on with our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So let's begin, of course, with upcoming events. Our first one, what we have right now, is GCW. As we know, we got some events coming up for this month and probably some other point. We have, of course, on the 10th for Rochester. Sorry, pal. We have, what's his name? We have Rhino taking on Broski Jimmy. I just hope Rhino cuts right through Jimmy, right through it anyway. And then the following day in Columbus, Ohio, they'll be doing the Thank Me Later. One Called Manners will be in action to take on Isaiah Broner. And then, of course, finally we have the People versus GCW. Two matches that have been announced. We have the New York City OGs versus Rest Effin Pros. Or Real Effin Pros. I don't know who these guys are. But yeah. And then, of course, there's the vacancy of the Ultraviolent Championship that, what's her name? Rina Yamashita has relinquished herself. There's going to be a six-way match, a scramble match. We have Matt Tremont versus um, Brandon Kirk versus Matthew Justice versus Drew Parker versus John Wayne Murdoch, and then finally Dr. Redactic. So there's that. Now it's that time of year again when it comes to GCW and JCW, Jersey Championship Wrestling. We have the Jersey Cup taking place, happening on a 2-day event between the 15th and the 16th of February of this month. 4 names have been announced. That includes our current JCW World Champion, Masha Slamovich. Then we have Marcus Mathers, Jack Cartwheel, and of course, the master of the DDT, Tornado DDT, Fuego del Sol. And then finally, we have the Mexican promotion MLA having an event on the 16th of March. Now, I know some people have the reserves about him for a while. Marty Scurll will be in action to take on Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., so that's going to be a real fun one. Now, finally, for our developments, first things first, if you guys are big fans of her and the Yoshi wrestling scene, Momo Tani has recently got married, so congratulations, girl. If you guys remember, a couple of months ago, I did reveal that she was engaged, and now she's officially married, so congratulations. TNA has announced that they have re-signed 3 names into the company: John Schuyler, Ash by Elegance, and Masha Slamovich. An interesting development that I was not aware, I don't know if anybody has been aware, as you may heard, it's just revealed that Harley Cameron has divorced her husband, who is a current WWE NXT superstar, and that person is Zaya Quinn. I did not know that. Now, however, I don't know what led to the divorce or anything, but what we do know from what I learned, that they are originally from Australia together, and when they made the move to the States because of their timing with, of course, WWE, that's when they got married and all this, but it would make sense now. We haven't seen Zaya Quinn for quite some time. I don't know if he was still dealing with his marital status. That's something I don't know. And I'm not going to say, oh, it was. I'd rather let the information come out on its own or hear it from what he say. But it seems like they are officially over. Jordynne Grace will be having her final TNA. She'll be done with TNA mid-January. So there's been talk that there is the possibility of her making an appearance. If she's going to be finished by the mid-January, then there is chances are she will appear at the Royal Rumble this coming year at the end. So it's not the first time she appeared at a Royal Rumble, but most likely. Tommy Dreamer has been sidelined once again, this time with a torn meniscus or whatever it's called, and a strained PCL. So hopefully he gets recover. Hopefully he recovers well. And then finally, New Japan has announced that Chris Carlton is now in indefinite suspension. Apparently, he made some comments. He made some anti-AEW comments at Wrestle Dynasty, and this is something I don't think anybody wants to hear. But yeah, so basically, he is not going to be making an appearance. Who knows how long he'll be out, but we'll see what happens. So I think that's pretty much it for our news updates. So I believe it's time to call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as you probably can guess, we have NXT's New Year's Evil. So anything could happen. I mean, we expect title exchanges? I don't know. This is going to be a lot of fun, so I can't wait to see it. I haven't decided what other events I should put. Now, there are still some events I haven't seen yet. I'm still waiting for Mighty Gold's recent event, but we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm excited for what's coming up. So let's see what happens. So for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.